Hello, welcome. So, today we're going to talk about our first experiences with Apple computers. Um, a lot of my friends asked me before for help, especially with transition between Windows environment and Mac. In fact, I've been doing this for quite a while now, but now we can actually create a proper tutorial for all to enjoy and share it on YouTube. So first thing you'll find if you're coming in from a Windows environment or any other environment, any other operating system, Apple will look different. So what we have here is desktop. Uh, what you call desktop in Windows, it really is a Finder in Mac OS 10. Uh, this one here, we are working with Mac OS 10.9 Mavericks. It's a fresh installation. Uh, as you can see, you have a couple of things. Uh, this here, very famous icon, very well, I guess it's well known by now. It's a Apple it's called Apple menu. Here you will find a couple of things. Quick info about the system you're working with, the computer you are working with currently. So let's see what we have here. Uh, this will show us the operating system, the version of the operating system. We can also go from here and do a quick system update. Besides that, information that we can collect here is processor speed. This is not this is a virtual machine, so it will look a bit different than what you might see on your screen. And I have 4 gigs of RAM, which should be good enough for this presentation. More info will present us with more specific information, exact software version, serial number of the machine, graphics card, memory of the graphics card, memory of your RAM memory of your system, and again processor, type of display you have connected to your machine. If it's a laptop, obviously it will be a laptop. Storage, that's interesting. This is your hard drive. This is where all the applications, all your software, all your documents, all your music, and all your movies, that's where you're going to store. Uh, it's a very nice visual representation, which will show you how many audio files you have, movies, photos, apps, and so forth. It will give you also information about your optical drive if you have one, because as you know, new Mac machines, they no longer come with one. Also, this will show you exact memory configuration. Uh, in your case, it will look more like 2 or 4 uh, icons. You can also collect information about about upgrading memory for your system by simply clicking here, and Apple will tell you exactly what you need. If you need what you need to buy if you need to uh, 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 upgrade your computer memory. Uh, to quit out of this, if you just click on this here will only close the window. It will not actually close this software. So to close it properly, to quit out of it rather, we have to go to application menu and go to quick system information. Uh, let's just have a quick return and boom. All right. Now, software update. Just like in any other operating system, Windows or Linux, every now and then Apple will update operating system to patch security, to fix some bugs and such. So yeah. Um, so as you can see, computers right now checking. As I said, I am working with Mac OS 10.9, which is Mavericks. Uh, And once you, so this is what's happening. So we have a couple of updates that haven't been applied to this machine just yet, and also it is possible to upgrade to Yosemite, which is Mac OS 10.10. However, we are not going to do that just yet. This is just an overview, so let's quit out of that. Going back to Apple menu, Apple Store is you need Apple ID. You most likely have one already to purchase applications, software from Apple Store, iTunes, and such. System preferences. If you're coming from a Windows environment, I would say equivalent of that in Windows would be control panel. This is where you will find all the settings for your computer, for the appearance, for security, privacy, connecting printers, configuring your network, managing your accounts, user accounts on your machines, setting up date and time, um, choosing the startup disk, sharing your files, setting up Bluetooth. All of it is here. So let's just have a quick look. Uh, you cannot possibly damage anything. So whatever you do here, you can always go back and change it or reset settings. So don't be afraid to experiment. Desktop and screensaver. This is quite interesting. I like the setup. So here we can choose our desktop screensaver. Cute. So anyhow, desktop, desktop pictures. These are provided by Apple. They come with OS 10. Um, you can set it up in such way that picture could change. Background picture of your desktop could change every 30 minutes or every hour or every day or every 5 seconds or whenever you first log into the machine. My preference is when I first log in for the picture to change, but you can just experiment and choose whichever is best for you. Um, find it very interesting because every 5 seconds, this is just like a movie. I could just sit here and watch the pretty pictures and not to do any work. So yeah, also we can do that in random order, which is fine. Okay, when logging in. Perfect. Let's go back to show all dock. Another thing that is a bit different from Windows is the dock. This is where we can keep icons, shortcuts. These are really not true applications. Those are just shortcuts which allow us to access quickly our most things that we access most often. So we Apple gives us a couple of choices as far as customizing the dock. We can adjust its size depending on preference again. I'd like to keep it kind of small, but not for this presentation. Magnification. As you can see, as I'm scrolling through, um, those icons are just sitting there. But if I click on magnification, uh, this is what's going to happen. Ta-da! So it gives us this nice wavy effect. Very interesting. All right, position on the screen. We can keep dock either on the left, on the bottom, or to the right, whichever whichever you like. Going back to show all mission control. This is where you will find mission control shortcuts. We will touch on that subject a bit more later. Language and region, that kind of explains itself. Region set, first day of the week. Nothing too interesting, but anyhow, if you need to change settings as far as, let's say, keyboard, you have a you can just go and do that here. Security and privacy. Highly recommended to when you first start working with your computer. Again, in system preferences, go to show all again. In security and privacy. Okay, this is very important. First of all, as you can see on the lower left corner of that window, there's a small lock. To change the settings, you need to have admin privileges. So first we need to unlock the setting panel, provide your password, and turn out. Uh, with introduction of Mac OS 10.9 Mavericks, what Apple did, they are kind of restricting by default uh, from what sources you can install applications on your computer. However, I truly believe that we should be free to install it from any source other than Apple or Apple approved or identified developers. That will make it easy for us for later. So choosing to be able to install from anywhere, it's always the best option. Uh, Firewall, we will talk about that a little bit later. This is more about more in depth in security. What's more important for you, for us, for first time when we start working with Apple computers, is to turn the firewall on. The reason why is often people travel with their laptops and do access the internet from unsecured Wi-Fi connections, public Wi-Fi, uh, cafe Wi-Fi, and so on. Uh, it's really recommended that you turn on your firewall so your computer stays healthy and protected at all times. Privacy, again, at some point, we'll create a quick tutorial on how to keep our privacy and security uh, on a Mac, but this is just introduction, so let's just go with the overview for now. Spotlight. Spotlight is very interesting. This small icon right here, if you click on it and type in a word, let's say Safari, looking for Safari because you want to open your browser, pump, there you go. Press enter, and we are here. Ta-da! So, Spotlight preferences. Again, you can search by default, you can search everything and everywhere on your computer. However, there are times that you might not want to allow Spotlight to go into certain folders. Maybe you have private information, banking information, whatever it is that you don't want to be, uh, whatever you don't want to share with anybody else, that needs to be changed. But for now, uh, as I said, this is just an overview. Let's go back. Notifications. Yeah, with notifications, whenever you get calendar or a calendar reminder or a new email comes in or a new instant message or a Facebook notification that will pop up on a screen. That can be changed, that can be turned off and such, or can be customized later on. CD and DVDs. This is just asking what to do when you're inserting a CD or DVD, what to do. So if you do a blank CD, you can ask what to do or open disk utility or run a software or whatever that you like. Same goes for DVD. By default, when you insert a music CD, it will automatically open iTunes, which is kind of cool. Uh, Also with DVD, if you put in a DVD movie, it will automatically open a built-in Apple DVD player and play it for you. Nicely done. Displays. This will, if you, this will allow you to rearrange your display settings. Uh, yeah, you can even rotate it. That's true. If you have more than one screen connected to your computer, it will also appear in this control panel, and you will have a choice of rearranging it and changing resolution and such. Energy saver, that's something that I think most of us are familiar with. Putting computer to sleep, slide the slider to whatever time you like. Same goes for display sleep. Put hard disk to sleep when possible. Yeah, that's good for saving energy. Keyboard, obviously keyboard type and all the settings for shortcuts, things. Yeah. Uh, Mouse settings, things like tracking speed, scrolling speed, double click speed, you can all change in here. Same goes for trackpad, pretty much the same thing. We do not have a trackpad connected to this machine, so let's proceed to printers and scanners. That also you can add printer. There's a large selection of printers, so obviously they usually come with their own drivers, and if they don't, you can always download it from the website. The process is very simple. It's really usually painless. Sound. So we have alert sounds that you can select here. Sound output, in this case, we are set to headphone port out, line out. Uh, yeah, but for now, let's use headphones. Input, also, you can set balance of your speakers here or your headphones, and obviously output volume. A very interesting thing, what I like about Apple, if you see this, show volume in the menu bar. That's this icon right here. And if you uncheck this, ta-da, that icon disappears automatically. See, right away. Perfect. Input source, obviously that will be your microphone. As you can tell, mine is working pretty well. This is the indicator of input level. So yeah, all is working as intended. Uh, we're not going to touch on this. iCloud is connecting your machine, connecting to your iCloud Apple ID. That's something you can put in your Apple ID here, your password, and uh, you will share all your files and all your bookmarks and such between all your Apple devices. Internet accounts is where you will see things. If you're working in an office, you will have Exchange, maybe server, maybe you have a Google account, so you have Google Ops, Twitter, Facebook, uh, anything, email accounts and such. Yeah, AOL. Ta-da. Good old Apple. Network. That's where all the good things, connection to the internet. So currently we're connecting with wired network. This is not a laptop machine. If this was a laptop, we would also see a wireless card. In any case, our Ethernet network card is connected to my home network, and that's the IP address and all the good things. There are advanced settings. If all is working fine, I would not recommend going and changing it just for now. We hopefully will make another video explaining more in depth all the settings here. Bluetooth is obviously for connecting all your Bluetooth devices, um, whether it's your keyboard, mouse, mobile phone. So yeah, Apple makes it nice and easy. Ta-da. Come on. Sharing. Oh, beach ball. So this is our computer name. This is how it will appear on your home or office network. That obviously can be changed. If you want to share, this allows users to share your DVD over wireless or wired network. Same with screen sharing. Screen sharing is basically you could do presentations on your screen and show it to others. File sharing, this is if you have a home or office network and you want to share files of your computer with your coworkers, with your colleagues, with your friends. You have to enable that. You will have a couple of things as far as uh, controlling who can gain access and who cannot. Again, this is something that we will talk about later. Print sharing. If you have only one printer and it's connected to your computer, but you have more than one at home and you want to be able to use that printer with all machines, file sharing it's print sharing is the way to go. Remote login is for accessing your computer remotely. Remote management, that's more for office environment. Internet sharing, also you, for any reason, this is the only computer you're able to connect to the internet. You can actually connect others through your machine. And Bluetooth sharing, very similar. Going back, users and groups. This is where all your computer account profile information you will find. So once again, to change any settings, we have to first click on a padlock, provide a password. Ta-da. Okay. So now, this is my account that I've logged on with and working in right now, currently. Login items. We can easily add anything you like, um, any documents or applications or anything to start on a startup. So as you log into a computer, first thing that will load the application that you choose from here. So if you like to listen to the music, first thing you when you turn on your computer, there you go, and all set. Also here, you will be able to change your password if you must. This is where you provide your old password, your current password, and new password. Uh, this is also where you can see your login options. So when you see the login screen, you can have list of users or just a blank space where you have to put in your name and a password. Here also, um, we can create new accounts. So new accounts. First, if you're creating a new account, administrator will have access and privileges to change anything and everything on your computer. So if you're not sure if you want to give somebody full privileges to access everything on your machine, go with standard account. If uh, you want to share your computer with your child or somebody who needs who you would rather have under control, you can do it with managed with parental controls. This way, you will have a few options such as access to the computer can be restricted within certain hours. So let's say if the kid has to come back home and do their homework between 5 and 7 p.m., they will not be able to access the computer if you choose to set it. We'll talk about this option later on. But just for now, for sake of demonstration, let's just create one quick account and test password. Also, this is where you can put in password hint, which is easy way to remind you in case you forget what password you've set. So when you go to login screen, it will actually show you the password hint. All right. Um, so yeah, let's go back to system preferences, and this is where you set parental controls. So the account has to be created as parental controlled account. We will do that tutorial maybe later on. Apple Store again. This is your settings, dictation and speech. Um, this machine is quite interesting because uh, you can actually speak to it, speak commands as well as it can convert your speech into text. There are a few different voices you can try. Okay, Alex, let's do it again. Oh, it's very weak. That's all right. Let's go back. So yeah, date and time. This is where uh, you can set your time zone, type of clock you want to have. So right now we have a digital display, as you can tell, here in the menu bar. You can change it to analog or digital, which I prefer. You can also have computer announce the time, and that could be interesting. Customized voice. So again, you can choose few different ones. Kathy, Vicky, Victoria. Anyhow, I find it to be distractive. So it distracts me. So I don't rather. I just don't use it. Don't do that. Time zone. Let's change that. This is where I am at the time. Yeah. Startup disk. I would not. I wouldn't necessarily go in there just yet. You only have one at a time, which is fine. You can choose a different disk if you need to troubleshoot or do something more technical with your computer. Time machine is for backups. That's something we'll talk about later, and accessibility also subject for another tutorial. To quit, to quit out of system preferences, we go to system preferences, and we can go to quit. Ta-da. Perfect. Right. So back in Finder menu. Finder, because it's so important, it has its own preferences. By default, uh, oh, this is a good one actually. Let's close this. Most of the people who switched from different computer or are using Apple for the first time, this is the first question they have. How do I find my stuff? Where's my documents? Well, with Apple, there are always more than one ways of achieving the same goal. Let's start with explaining Finder preferences. So, in Finder preferences, show these items on your desktop. So, I want to see my hard disk at all times. External disk is any USB drive you might have. You connect it to your computer, and that's how it works. CDs, DVDs, and iPods, if you like that kind of thing. Uh, right. Sidebar. This is another interesting one. So, if you double click on your Macintosh hard drive, a window will open with content of your drive. So, sidebar, as you can see right now at the moment, sidebar uh, has only things that we checked here by default. But I also would like to have a quick access to my movies, to my music, and my pictures. So, as soon as you enable Finder preferences and sidebar uh, items, they will appear or disappear if you disable it. See, nice and easy. Also, you can drag and drop to rearrange. That's how easy it is. And there are some advanced settings. Show all file names extension. If you come from Windows environment, you will probably remember all the exe, PDF, TXT. Well, Apple doesn't really show that much, but if that's what you want, you can always enable it here. Let's close that. Let's close that. File menu. That's when file menu. New Finder window. So instead of clicking on double clicking Macintosh hard drive, you can just go to New Finder window. Ta-da! Again. And a third way of going to to open a window is basically to going to go and choosing a folder again. So this is three different ways you can open a window to go and browse your files. Once again, double click on Macintosh hard drive. Ta-da. File, new Finder window. This is the second way of doing achieving the same. And then going to go and just selecting specific folder or location that you want to go to. Ta-da. Here, again, if you want to create a new folder, ta-da, there we go, test folder. And few more other very useful menu items. Anyhow, let's go to Macintosh hard drive. Let's click on that. Let's go to File now, and let's go to Get Info. This is where it gets interesting for all you techies out there. So this is very detailed information about any file or uh, hard drive or anything really that is located on your computer. So you will have general information when it was created. Well, the most important is capacity. What's the capacity of your hard drive? So it's total space on your hard drive, and what's left for you to use. Uh, there is more, of course, more info, name and extension, so it's more specific. Let's make it this hard drive. You can change the name here. Preview of the icon. Icon can be changed easily. I will demonstrate that later on. Sharing and permissions is who can have access to it. However, you can gather info, as I said, on just about anything. So there we go. We just created this folder, test folder, and as you can see, it will tell us that it's created today, it's modified today, contains nothing, which is correct. Goody. So I'm done with this test folder, so what I can do, I can move it to trash. Ta-da! And it's done. So let's create another folder, test 2. Another way of putting things in trash is, of course, by drag and dropping it. Ta-da! To empty a trash, again, two easy ways. Going to Finder menu and going to empty trash, or control clicking on trash icon and going to empty trash. Sweet. Done. Perfect. Then we have edit menu. This is more to do with clipboard, so when you copy text or anything, you can have some control over it here. View. This is your window view. So when you go browsing for your files, for your applications and such, you have few different ways of viewing your files. So this will show you small icons. This type of view. And again, you can. There are two ways of changing it. You can have as a list. See, it changed. It switched by itself. Ta-da. And we have column view, which is nice. And also, this is very good. I see a lot of graphic designers where you're actually using this because it's more nice, more visual. It's obviously more up to 21st century. Thank you, Apple. Perfect. Go. Again, You can go to different directly to different locations. Go to a specific folder if you want to type it in, or connect to a server. So if you have a server in your home or office, this is where you would go to connect to your server. We don't have anything to connect to at the moment, so let's skip that. And this is obviously Apple Help. Now, another thing, uh, dock is very we can customize it the way we want it. So if you want to remove something off of a dock, just control click on it, go to options and remove from a dock. Ta-da! Another way of doing that, drag it upwards off of the dock and let it go. Ta-da! And it's gone. So, and to add uh, items to your dock, let's go back to applications and let's say I want phone book to be here. So just drag and drop it directly on the phone on your dock, and that's pretty much it. You are all set. Right. And the last bit, turning off, going to sleep, logging off, and such. So for that, unlike Windows environment, Apple, we go to Apple menu, which is upper left corner of your screen, and you have a couple of options. You have sleep, that will put your computer immediately to sleep, restart, and shut down or log out. So we are going to log out. And look, this is another interesting thing. See this option that is checked? I've had hundreds of people asking me why are things reopening when they logging in back into their computers. They just couldn't find they couldn't realize figure out what actually was happening there. So this is what's happening. If you have anything open, any software, any application, any movie, any folder, while you're logging off or restarting or shutting down your computer, uh, unless you uncheck this, all of that will reopen exactly as it was before when you log in back to your machine. So if you want, you can have that checked or not. It's completely up to you. Anyhow, let's log out. Ta-da! Perfect. All right. Hope you enjoyed this presentation. I will try to make a few more. Enjoy and talk to you soon. Bye.